Session 6, here we go. All right, we're going to revisit codependency from level 1. We got some good examples and understanding of codependency. We are going to go a little deeper, and if you can understand this next section, you're going to understand codependency, hopefully better than most people out there. And so when I'm doing this in my office or by Zoom, I have a large eraser board I can put on the wall here behind me. If I'm face to face with somebody, I got a smaller one I can hold, and I do a drawing of a well and tell the story that we're going to go through here. So many people struggle with not only understanding codependency and their role in it, but also understanding apathy, sympathy, empathy, and entitlement. Okay. And this can be helpful. So I've noticed a confusion in understanding the difference between the words apathy, sympathy, codependency, and empathy. It has taken me some time to understand this for myself and to communicate that understanding to my clients. So for me, when I write a blog, it's really nothing more than a public form of journaling. And it can be up to a year sometimes before I will blog on a topic, because some topics are tremendously complex. I want to hear from others, get all the angles. And if I can't make it simple, then I don't understand it yet. And journaling is a very, very powerful tool we use and talk a lot about in counseling and recovery groups and our intensives, etc. So think of a pit or a well that your spouse, family member, or friend has fallen into. They are in a deep, dark place and cannot get out without the help of someone else. You're walking and realize what has happened to them. So if I have a eraser board, I'm drawing a well, and out here in Colorado, we have old mine shafts or wells that have been forgotten, can be 100, 150 years old. And I kind of give the story of walking. We're going to climb a 14er or go on a hike. And we're walking, and I use my wife and myself as an example. And we're walking along, and she's busy working on her phone and not paying attention. And she falls in this boarded up well that has been forgotten. I come along behind, come around the bend. Hey, what happened? And I deep dark well. I don't even know it's her. And she yells. I recognize her, and this is where scenario number 1 comes in. So I'm drawing stick figures, explaining all this. Okay. So apathy. If you are apathetic, you would be standing at the top of the well and shout out to your friend, your wife, your partner, "Hey, what happened to you? Oh, well, that's too bad. I have to go. I have more important things to do with my day. Good luck, or, I'll get you on the way back. We set out to climb this hike, do this hike today. I'm not going to let anything happen to me." And so apathy is, we live in a very apathetic culture, and Brene Brown talks about this. If you drive, I know my daily commute on the interstate, it's 45 minutes to an hour sometimes. And, we live in a very apathetic culture. You don't stop for people on the side of the road. You assume they're going to call somebody, they have a phone, get help. We're very apathetic, kind of this, I don't care. Okay. All right. So scenario number 2, sympathy. So my wife and I hike. I'm drawing this on the board again. This time, scenario number 2. It's kind of like those pick your adventure books we used to have as a kid. And sympathy. So if you're sympathetic, you would be standing at the top of the well. Okay, she falls in. Hey, what happened? Oh, I fell in a well. And this time I'm going to use words like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I see that you are down there. That must really hurt. Are you okay? Do you need anything? That must be really difficult." So I haven't really done anything yet. Sympathy is more of a verbal exchange. Okay, just sympathetic phrases. All right, not too difficult yet. All right, scenario number 3, codependency example. Walking along one day, coming around the bench, he falls in. This time in my codependency, if you are codependent, you would be standing at the top of the well and say, hey, what happened to you? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. This is terrible. I feel your pain. I must have caused this. And then we jump into the well with them. Now you experience the negative thoughts and feelings they are experiencing. Not only that, but you feel responsible for their negative thoughts, feelings, and physical pain from the fall. You even believe you caused them to fall into the well. You become just as offended as they are. And with the well not being cleared or marked as a hazard by Parks and Recreation, excuse me, and you begin to, when he or she's down, you're down, or you feel responsible for bringing them up. So codependency is one of the most common words used in counseling and recovery. Perhaps it is the most misused and misunderstood. It can simply be defined as relationship addiction. Okay, another way to think of codependency, which we talked about that in level 1. Training. You may be addicted to being in the relationship or the idea of being in love. I call it puppy love. That lasts maybe 3 weeks to months, and then on to the next. However, it can also be with a spouse for 30 years who takes care of you. It can be parents, siblings, friends. There's a need to be validated by them as well as to be dependent upon them with the relationship. And it is also a form of mirroring who you think the person wants you to be and not really being you. Lying and enabling behaviors are also a form of codependency. So she's falling down, she's getting ramped up, like, yeah, let's sue these people when we get out of here. I'm like, yeah, let's sue them. We'll be bazillionaires. Okay, it's that kind of thing too. Let's see. So that's codependency. So 4th scenario, walking along one day, we're on this hike, my partner falls in, I come around the bend, hey, what happened? And this time you are empathetic. You would be standing at the top of the well and say, hey, what happened? That sounds terrible. But knowing this time not to jump in, okay? You leave and come back, say, hang on, I'm going to go down to the truck, the car, get a ladder, get a rope, and you lower the ladder into the well and go into the well with them, right? You listen to them, love them, and provide what they need for their physical pain. You understand them as you too have fallen into a well before and have had a similar experience. You wish them well and let them know that you will be back, and you then leave the ladder for them. If they choose, they can use the ladder to climb out when they are ready. Okay, and the power vulnerability material, Brene Brown, she defines empathy as knowing your own darkness well enough to be able to sit in the darkness with others. I think this is a great definition of empathy and a great metaphor of the darkness of the well. Okay. So apathy, sympathy, codependency, empathy are 4 very different words and concepts that can hopefully now be more easily understood. Okay. Now, so the next morning, like I said, we got 4 kids. Hey, honey, I gotta go back, take care of the kids, let them know what happened. So I go back, climb down the ladder, bring her food, water, listen, love, first aid. Okay, listen, tend to your partner's needs. Time passes. And hey, I gotta go back. Weekend's over, gotta get back to work. When you come out, let me know you're ready. You got to do this on your own. I can't carry you up the ladder. They got to come out on their own power. Okay. Now this might go on for weeks, months, years. Okay. You have gone down and back up the ladder in your empathy, but now you're exhausted. Okay. In desperation, you plead with your partner and ask why they are not using the ladder to come out. So at this point of the story, we have person A and B. Okay. And who at this point of the story is in more pain? Again, weeks, months, years have gone by. They're healed up. They're just choosing not to come out. Okay. The answer is person A, always going down the ladder every day. Okay. Person B's needs are being taken care of. Okay. So person A, you may ask, person A may ask their loved one, why are you not coming out of the blankety blank well? They may respond with the following ways. I don't like black ladders. I want a green one. I want a dramatic rescue. I want those people who didn't mark this hazard properly to pay. I want justice. I'm not leaving until I get it. Okay. At this point of the story, person B is what we call the ultimate victim. You check out that blog, The Ultimate Victim. They don't want to get better. Okay. And a lot of the people we're trying to help do not want to get better. They say they do, but believe behavior shows they do not. Believe behavior will always show you beyond what they say. Okay. So the other problem is that you, being the very empathetic, kind, loving, aka codependent person that you are, have made it very comfortable in the well for your partner. So I always joke about being the amazing, humble husband that I am for my partner, for my wife, is I have built her a bedroom down there as well. They have Wi-Fi, TV, video, games. Okay. I've even built them a kitchen with granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and a fridge full of food. So person B is really not in any pain. Again, pain or priority are the two things that will motivate anyone. In fact, they know every day at a certain time, you or person A are going to come down and take care of them and supply them all their needs. Okay. They have no reason to come out of the well and have not had one for a very long time. Your empathy has now become enabling. There it is, enabling. Okay, the only thing person A can do now is get out of the well and leave and show apathy. Okay. Now, this might seem harsh, but this is perhaps the most loving thing to do. Things are not going to get very, things are going to now get very uncomfortable between the two. It's now their wants and needs are no longer being met. Okay. They may get very angry. So person B is going to get angry, threaten, manipulate, accuse, blame, criticize. Okay. And this is typical, again, just a metaphor to help people understand the story. Okay. So the behavior shows that they believe now they are entitled for you to take care of them. Okay. This is now a very sick and unhealthy system. Okay. And generally, most people will not get out of it without a third neutral party will most likely be needed to get involved. Okay. Generally, coming out of the well symbolizes some form of inpatient or outpatient treatment or intervention. Okay. Typically, I've found person B will only come out of the well and seek treatment for two reasons, either because they have to or because they want to. Okay. Have to or want to. We've covered this in level 1 as well. So have to people come out of the well because they want to look good for a boss, a judge, or to save the relationship or the marriage. Okay, the want to people come out of the well for themselves, regardless what the judge, partner, or others think. Okay, have to people are about 90% of the people in recovery that are going to come to your office. They are externally motivated by circumstances and pain. There it is, pain. Or want to people make up the remaining 10% who are internally motivated with a heart's desire to make recovery a priority, the priority people. Change is difficult, scary, and unknown. Addicts are about taking the path of least resistance. So after a few weeks of inpatient or outpatient treatment, the pain then they once had is generally gone. Well, let's call this kind of the harpoons coming out of their chest and they can breathe. It's like, and that feels amazing. And life looks a lot brighter and lighter. So they feel a lot better. They feel much better. Okay. So the recovery work starts to become difficult though, as they face that person in the mirror and take responsibility, which is painful. So a lot of people decide to leave the program or quit coming to see you against medical advice or AMA. Weeks, months, and years may pass. And eventually, that pain of the addiction is once again so great, they look at a treatment as less painful. So they take the plunge and jump. Okay. Back into the well. Time passes, treatment becomes too difficult. Oftentimes, they leave again. Life in the well becomes uncomfortable and they start using again. The pain becomes so bad, they get out of the well and go get help. Okay. This is the cycle. So sometimes on my eraser board too, I'll draw like two bars and like a bar graph. And so the bar graph, I'll draw one big bar graph and call that recovery, and one shorter one, call that their pain. Okay. The pain they are in. And so what happens, people don't choose change because change is painful. Okay. And until this pain gets so great, I'm not going to jump over here into recovery or get help. Until my pain I'm in is greater than the pain of change, I'm not going to commit. Okay, so what happens? It gets so painful, they jump, they come and see you, and this pain over here starts to go away, but now this is hard. Okay, the recovery process is hard, so they go back and jump back into their old system. Okay, because it felt amazing, they feel better, I don't need this, until that grows again, and then they come back into your office. Okay, and then they quit, and because the pain over here is so much better, they don't see it anymore, and it gets big, and you got this cycle. And the only way out of this is to ride this one down. Okay, this bar, I got to stay in recovery till it goes all the way down. Face that person in the mirror. That's the only way out of this cycle. Okay, that's what's going on. So wash, rinse, repeat. You get the picture. On average, insurance companies claim to pay out 7 different times for 7 different treatments. This is more inpatient stuff for the same person with substance abuse issues than my time in inpatient substance abuse programs. Now, for some, it is a one and done. However, I have had addicts report that they have had up to 30 and up to 45 separate attempts in treatment, including both in and outpatient treatment programs. In different times and in different relationships, you may have played the role of person A or B. Okay, I'm not saying one's better or worse, person A or B. Sometimes you're person A in one relationship, sometimes you're person B. And it is a dance of codependency that can become confused with empathy, manifesting into enabling and ending in entitlement. Okay, so both person A and B have work to do. But once you understand this, it gets very easy to teach. Okay, so let's recap this a little. So the progression is apathy. Okay, I don't care. I got things to do. Don't have time for you. Sympathy. It's more of a verbal exchange. Hey, that must be hard. That looks painful. Looks like you're hurting. Empathy is I'm going to enter the well. Okay. Codependency, jumping in, enabling. Now I'm stuck in that sick system of helping, making it comfortable, and then entitlement. Now I pull away as person A, and now person B gets angry and believes they're entitled. Okay. So leaving the well, people generally only get help when the pain they are in exceeds the pain of change. What I was describing with my bar, right? So get help, therapy, recovery are options. Many stop recovery after the pain goes away. They return to recovery when it returns. Okay, just recapping here. Internal versus external motivation. Internally motivated people stay in recovery for themselves. I want to, generally less codependent, motivated by their priorities. Externally motivated people do recovery for others. I have to, and generally I'm more motivated by pain. All right, hopefully that was helpful. It's a lot in here, but trying to take complex things and making it a metaphor. And I've learned to help people share stories, use metaphor, use images. Okay, a lot of people are visual learners, eraser boards, drawing. Don't have to be a good artist. If they can remember the story, they'll remember the concept. All right, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Good stuff today.